vomitevole è chi, come la Francia, continua a sfruttare l'Africa stampando moneta per 14 nazioni africane sulle quali applica il signoraggio, facendo lavorare bambini nelle miniere, estraendo materie prime come accade in Niger, dove la Francia estrae il 30% dell'uranio che gli serve a far camminare le centrali nucleari e il 90% dei nigerini vive senza elettricità. Non ci venire a fare lezioni, Macron, perché l'Africa scappa da voi e la soluzione non è spostare gli africani in Europa, è liberare l'Africa da certi europei. Non accettiamo lezioni. Chiaro?
All right, guys, so we got to talk about just a little bit of European politics, as there's a video going viral of Italy's new far-right Prime Minister, Miss Giorgia Meloni, giving an epic woke speech against immigration. And I want to share this clip because I think that we can relate this back to kind of what's going on here in the US with our own immigration crisis. And also, again, it is a woke argument for a policy that is anti-woke. And I think that this clip is worth sharing, okay? But before I get into this clip, I gotta give you guys a little bit of background in regards to where this clip is from. It's actually an older clip that is now going viral because Meloni and Emmanuel Macron, who is the leader of France, the Prime Minister of France, they're clashing over immigration, okay? Essentially, there is a non-government organization boat that is trying to bring African migrants to Europe, okay? And Miss Meloni, who just took office, has been hardcore against immigration. She's taken a hardcore anti-immigration stance, and essentially she rejected the boat, right? She rejected the boat, sent it to France, right? And that caused France to retaliate by canceling a deal that they had to take in 3,500 migrants from Italy. And now they're also going to strengthen their borders with Italy to not allow as many migrants to cross into France. And they're also encouraging other European countries to do so as well in retaliation against Giorgia Meloni for rejecting that migrant ship. And it kind of goes back into Meloni and a lot of the things that she's accused France of doing in regards to contributing to the immigration crisis. Like, for example, she accused France of playing a role in the bombing of Libya and the assassination of Muammar Gaddafi, which led to the instability in that country, which led to the migration crisis, all of those migrants trying to come to Europe, Italy, right? Being that, again, it seems like Italy is probably one of the closer countries to Africa. Yeah, they're kind of taking in a lot of these immigrants. And Meloni has, again, taken a hardcore stance against illegal immigration. She wants strong borders. And that is the context of this clip that I'm about to play, because she has been super critical of France and their neo-colonial policies that have contributed to the migration crisis. Again, it really is an amazing argument to behold. Take a look.
Questo si chiama franco CFA. È la moneta coloniale che la Francia stampa per 14 nazioni africane, alle quali applica il signoraggio e in forza delle quali sfrutta le risorse di questa nazione. Questo è un bambino che lavora in una miniera d'oro in Burkina Faso. Il Burkina Faso è una delle nazioni più povere del mondo. Per il Burkina Faso, che ha l'oro, la Francia stampa moneta coloniale. In cambio pretende che finiscano nelle casse del tesoro francese il 50% di tutto quello che il Burkina Faso esporta. L'oro che questo bambino si infila in un cunicolo per tirare fuori finisce per lo più nelle casse dello Stato francese. Allora la soluzione non è prendere gli africani e spostarli in Europa, la soluzione è liberare l'Africa da certi europei che la sfruttano e consentire a queste persone di vivere di quello che hanno.
Guys, isn't it amazing that you just heard an argument from a politician that the left, even the American media has chimed in on it. They said that she is far right, okay? Far right. And she's racist, right? She's racist. She's making an argument to make Africa great again by essentially kicking white people out, right? That's the argument that she's making. But again, according to the mainstream liberal media, she's a racist, right? She's a bigot, okay? But the only thing she's doing in that video really is justifying her strong border policies, in which she actually thinks that Europe should form a wall, right? A ship wall, a navy wall, separating Europe and Africa, right? To stop ships from coming over from Africa, they need to form a navy wall, right? So yeah, she's very kind of Trump-like and kind of Carrie Lake-like at the same time, right? But yeah, they called a woman a racist. However, the argument that she uses a very, very, very progressive argument in criticism of neoliberal economic policies that take advantage of corruption in some of these third world countries like Africa and South America. We're going to talk about that in a minute, in which we exploit and take all of their natural resources, right, in exchange for our paper money, right? We give them our paper money. They can't really they don't survive off their own resources because we take them all. The only thing they have is our paper money, which is just hoarded by the corrupt leaders running those countries. And then the rest of the people in that country are left to starve, right? They're left to starve and to fend for themselves. And ultimately, that does lead to people wanting to leave the country, to migrate to different parts of the world where they can have a chance at a better life, okay? Now, what Giorgia Meloni here is doing, she's playing the reverse Uno card, okay? Because the left, people like AOC, you'll hear the arguments that, well, because of U.S. policies and some of these countries in South and Central America, intervention policies, the Monroe Doctrine, basically forms the basis of kind of setting the stage for intervention in Latin America. Because we've intervened in these countries, including U.S.-backed military coups, corporate plundering, and sapping their resources with neoliberal trade policies in places like Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, the violence and poverty that was a result of all of this U.S. intervention is why we need to take in the immigrants, right? This is why we need to have open borders, right? That is the argument that AOC and the left makes. However, again, Giorgia Meloni here played the reverse Uno card, right? And said, no, I'm against this, right? I'm against this type of globalism. I'm against neo-colonialism. I don't want to continue to plunder these countries of their natural resources. I actually just want to make them great, right? Let them survive on their own so that the immigrants don't have to come here, right? They don't have to come here. Problem solved, right? And again, this is what a lot of people don't understand about the populist right. We don't want to intervene in these countries anymore, right? That's the thing. The left, they want to guilt trip us into having open borders and letting any and everybody into our country, letting drugs flow into our country unchecked. They want to guilt us into basically becoming like these other countries, right? Because, oh, well, in the past, we intervened. We contributed to, poverty and the violence and stuff. Like, okay, fine. Okay, I understand that. But we don't want to do that anymore, right? We don't want to do that anymore. Therefore, we want a strong border, right? We're not letting them come because we don't want to participate. We don't support that, right? Again, they make the same arguments about the Middle East and taking in a lot of the Muslim refugees, right, from places like Syria, Iraq, etc. I'm like, okay, well, I do understand we went into Iraq, we destabilized Iraq, we went into Afghanistan, we destabilized Afghanistan. I disagree with that. I didn't support that. I don't support that. I think that was wrong. So therefore, I want strong borders, and we don't need to take all these people, right? I don't want them, okay? Because I did not support that, right? I did not support going over there and destabilizing those countries, okay? I want to stay out of their business. I want them to run their own thing. I don't care what they're doing. We gonna take care of us. They gonna take care of them, right? See, again, that's what the left, they don't understand about the populist right, okay? Same thing with Ukraine, right? The left is gonna guilt trip us into taking in a bunch of Ukrainian refugees. I don't want them either, right? I'm just saying, we don't want them either. This is why we're pro-peace. This is why we say, look, Biden, Zelensky, look, y'all need to come to the table, come together with Putin. Y'all figure it out. Figure out a peaceful solution, because we don't want to keep sending our money over here. We don't want to keep supporting this. We don't want the immigrants. We don't want to deal with it, right? We don't want to deal with it. It's really that simple, okay? Because we have our own borders to protect. We got our own country to look out for. We don't want to keep interfering in these other countries. We're against the neoliberal colonialism. We're against it, right? You can't make us pay for something that we don't support in the first place, okay? I'm just saying. So again, I just found it interesting how she made a woke argument to justify a anti-woke policy, which is strong borders, and I found it to be genius. I'm glad that clip resurfaced to the internet because again, I think it made for a good kind of conversation. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.